The Oscars are this Sunday already, and I figured it would be a good time to rank all of the Best Picture nominees from this year. So let's talk about them. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are ranking all of the Best Picture nominees from this year's Oscars. I'm not sure what number it is this year, but I know it is somewhere in like the upper 90s, maybe like 95, I think. I'll look this up, probably insert it later in the video, but yeah. If you are wondering, this isn't my real microphone. I ordered one off of Amazon finally, so we should be getting more videos recorded on my new laptop soon. With that out of the way, let's get started with this ranking. Unfortunately, in last place is Tar. This movie kind of fell flat for me. I don't really know what went wrong. The lead actress, Cate Blanchett, did a great job. I thought she did a pretty decent job. The music is great. The runtime, though, there is so much that could have been cut out. There's like just these still shots that are so boring of just zooming in on people's faces as they're talking and nothing happens. It's annoying. Yeah, I didn't really like Tar all that much. Sorry, but I didn't enjoy this one. Second from the bottom is Triangle of Sadness, another movie that I know a lot of people really, really loved from this past year. I unfortunately just kind of found it boring. Again, it's a movie with a really long runtime. I think this one was just a little, like 3 minutes under 2.5 hours or something like that. It was like 147 minutes. And there's not a whole lot that happens in this movie. It was kind of boring. Woody Harrelson was decent as the ship captain. Other than that, couldn't really tell you a whole lot about this movie because I was pretty bored checking my phone quite a bit during this one. So, yep, Triangle of Sadness. Again, I'm sorry. This is just my opinion, though. Please respect that. Wasn't a big fan of Triangle of Sadness either. Another one that I know a lot of people loved, Women Talking. This one had some really good performances, some decent cinematography. The color grading was ugly, though. The subject matter was very important, but makes this movie so, not rewatchable at all. I don't know what the word would be, but it's not rewatchable. In any sense of the word rewatchable, it is not that. Pretty long as well. It's like, I think it's around 2 hours. But yeah, if you wanna see some good performances, check this one out. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I think it was like a limited time thing that it's on Amazon. But yeah, if you want to check it out, why not? It's not great though. I didn't love it. Another one that I might get some hate on for having this low, All Quiet on the Western Front. This one was decent. It had some good cinematography, really great sound mix. Like, my TV wasn't even like high on volume, and I had to turn it down because of how freaking loud the score was. That is a loud movie, I'll tell you that. Some of the performances are really good as well. The story is also really, really heartbreaking. Just like the simple nature of like these soldiers get told that they're going on like a holiday or whatever and then end up having to fight in this war. That is sad and really bleak as well. This movie is really, really bleak. But I didn't care about any of the characters. Some of the writing was a little iffy. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I wouldn't watch it again, though, for sure. It's not very rewatchable, like I said. And it's also a very long movie. Can you see what I'm saying by, like, all of these long movies are at the bottom of the list? Sorry, but nah. Not for me. In sixth place, we have Elvis. This one, I believe, is actually behind one of them, the longest movie on the list. This is, like, a little bit under 2 hours 45 minutes. It's lengthy. The first act isn't amazing, but I really loved the rest of the movie. This one got a little bit better for me over time, I'd say. It isn't a movie that is super rewatchable either, I'd say. Still entertaining. It's not like the most rewatchable thing on earth, though, I would say. And some of the direction is quite strange, like having a rap song playing while Elvis is walking down a sidewalk. And this is supposed to take place in the late 40s, early 50s. I don't really... that kind of suspends my my brain. That doesn't really sit right. But, other than that, this movie was really good. I definitely recommend this one. If this were to win any Oscars, I'd say Best Actor. I think there's another movie that deserves it. The Whale. We might talk about that in another future video before the Oscars, but I'm not sure about that yet. But yeah, I think Elvis was a good movie. And the microphone deep-throating scene is amazing. Best part of the whole movie. I would like to say, before I continue this list, the rest of the movies from here up, number 5 up, are all 5 out of 5 movies to me. I love the rest of the movies on this list. This part of the list was really hard to make for me, personally. But as it stands right now, number 5, we have The Banshees of Inisherin. This movie is great. The writing is amazing. The performances, the lead 2 performances from Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell are fantastic. And the cinematography in this movie as well is wonderful. The story, the setup, everything in this movie is perfect. I love The Banshees of Inisherin. It is such a great movie, and I'm glad it's getting all the love it's getting. Some people, here and there I've seen, don't really care for it all that much. I don't see why. I think it is a wonderful movie, a fantastic story, and I'm glad it got nominated for so many Oscars. It's fantastic. This one might be a little bit of a hot take, and I know this is going to be a lot of people's number 1, but number 4 for me is Top Gun Maverick. This movie is great. As a sequel, it's wonderful. As just a movie in general, it's amazing because it brought everybody back to the theater. It made over $1 billion pretty quickly, I'd say. It stayed in theaters for so long. I remember waiting for that Blu-ray to come out. It took over 6 months, I think, for it to finally come out on Blu-ray. It was somewhere around 6 months. And man, rewatching this movie, it was my number 1 of the year for a while. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, it's not the most amazing thing, I'd say, personally, because, it's not as emotional, I think, as some people would say, especially because, I've rewatched it so many times at this point. It's it's kind of getting a little bit old, and plus everybody's saying, oh, it's the best thing ever. It's no. I feel like there was a lot of other movies that did something this year that Top Gun was really good with. It was bringing us back to the theaters, which is a great thing, but it wasn't as great or groundbreaking as some of the other movies that I saw this year, which we'll talk about the 3 others, which I think actually did a little bit better than Top Gun. What they were doing was fantastic. I think they were better than Top Gun. I know a lot of people will disagree with that. I'm sorry I went on a ramble there. But yeah, Top Gun is my number 4. It's a fantastic movie. I loved it. Tom Cruise is awesome. And thank you for bringing us all back to the movies, Tom Cruise. You are the dude. In third place, a lot of other people's pick for Best Picture. I'd say this or my number 2 spot should win Best Picture for sure. But my number 3 is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie is so strange. Yes, it is very strange. And it delivers on everything that was set up to be with this movie. It's got amazing multiverse stuff. way, way better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I will gladly say that. I know some people might disagree, but it is much better at multiverse stuff than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Good movie, though. I do like Multiverse of Madness. The performances are great. Ki Hui Kwan, however you pronounce his name. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Did an incredible job. I hope he wins supporting actor because he was fantastic. Michelle Yeoh as the lead actress was fantastic as well. There is one scene in this movie that made me think to myself, man, this is a great movie. And it's a scene where two rocks are talking to each other. And it is one of the most emotional dialogue scenes I've ever seen in a film. And it is wonderful, and I love it. But it's just two rocks talking to each other. Like, this movie does so many great things. I love it for that. And that's why it was my number one of the year for so long, because it did so many awesome things that I adored. So yeah, this comes in at my number 3. This would probably be my pick to win Best Picture. Either this or my number 2 spot, which we'll get to in just a second. So coming in my number 2 that I've been talking about for a little bit now is Steven Spielberg's The Fabelmans. I loved The Fabelmans. It made me want to be a filmmaker. It brought back my love for films, and seeing this on the big screen was great. It was a fantastic experience. I saw it about a month late. Like, compared to other people, it was about a month late. I don't know what was up with my theaters, but they just decided to show it late. I'm not sure what was up with that. But it was a fantastic experience. I was actually a little late for my screening, so I had to wait until the 4K Blu-ray came out so I could watch the beginning of the movie again. But man, this movie hits home. The ending is fantastic. There's a cameo from another director. I think it's not John Wayne, but it's like a Western director that was like known as the greatest director of all time back in the day. Another really famous director from today is playing him, and that was amazing. But yeah, this movie is just great. It got even better on a second watch for me. I'd say it's definitely in my top 3 movies from last year. Fantastic movie. I loved it. But coming in at number 1 is Avatar: The Way of Water. This movie, it's not going to win Best Picture. I can tell you that. I'm glad it was nominated, though, because this was just a fantastic experience that I saw in this movie. It was in 3D. Fantastic viewing experience in 3D. I reviewed it on the channel. And this movie, it does so great with just expanding these characters, bringing in new characters, doing a fantastic job with them as well, and just delivering a fantastic experience in the movies. This is another movie that's broken $2 billion. Sorry, I misspoke. $2 billion at the box office. So this is like top 4 highest grossing movies of all time, I believe. And this movie, it does what the original Avatar did back in 2009. Delivers some amazing visuals, some great characters, some awesome action. Actually, this movie had a lot of great action. Like, there was a fight in the rainforest or whatever on Pandora. That was amazing. I loved that sequence. And seeing it in 3D was awesome, like I said. And yeah, this movie is just great. I think it's one of James Cameron's best movies. And I know that's kind of weird to say that it's one of James Cameron's best, but I legitimately think that of all of his fantastic movies, this is top 3. Sue me. I know that's probably a hot take, but I love James Cameron's movies, and this is one of his better ones. And yeah, it comes in at number 1. I love this movie. So thanks for sticking around with me for this video. I know some of my takes are a little spicy, but yeah, that was the ranking. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you respect my opinion as well. If you respect my opinion, I'll respect yours. Till next time, peace out.